Man, chick, I could not wait for today, bro. Like, this is amazing, bro. Like, the second Adam Corner, like, seeing what God is doing. And then today to be able to talk about, like, the families and the marriages and the kids.
Hmm.
Bro, we got some people that I know that I know that I know that only God could have sent. We got Eric, bro. He's a marriage counselor. Been doing this for years, like, whose heart is dedicated to it. And not just marriage counselor by job, but somebody who like exhibited inside of his actual marriage. Like his marriage is dope. And you got John, bro. Like he is in the schools and man, he's also in the church. And I'm talking about like he's lived this life. I want to say like since like 12 or 13. Like
Yeah.
somebody who's been sold out for God, great individual, and like who's ready. Then like lastly, then my man Kwame is a monster. Like in the schools, intramurals for the kids, but like besides all of that, a fire dad. Like he's a dope dad, and he shows it in his like and like how he raises kids, bro. So when I tell you tonight, oh, I can't wait, man. When these
Dope.
men get in the door, bro, and they got you, bro. I'm talking about like not just us, but like down to like the barber is like somebody who's like dedicated dad. Tonight, bro, anything can happen tonight. Watch,
It's gonna
bro.
be fire.
So listen, it's a proven fact that nobody taught us how to be husbands. Nobody taught us how to date with purpose. Nobody taught us how to stay true while we wait. And now we're trying to build marriages, raise children, and lead homes off of vibes, trauma, and what we saw on TV. Tonight, we're having the conversation, I believe, that men were supposed to have 20 plus years ago. See, most men don't lose their marriage after they say I do. They lose it years prior in how to date. Most men don't fail as fathers when the child is born. They fail as men they never became. Tonight we talk about becoming the man before the marriage, before the wife, before the children. This is Adam's Corner.
Yes, sir.
So if I could have you guys, I believe every man in here is intentionally and specially selected by Holy Spirit. If I could have each one of you men tell your name and where they can reach you if you want to. Start with you, sir.
So I'm Kwame Much. I serve as a deacon at a Church of God by Faith. Um, I'm on Instagram. That's one way to reach me. I'm not hard to find at all. So say that's the best handle.
I like it. Appreciate you for being here, sir.
What's up, people?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
John Harris. I consider myself a faith leader. I'm a youth pastor at Faith Hope and Charity Worship Center. I also lead in an executive position in the corporate world, in the educational setting, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm on Instagram as well, or you can reach out to Mr. Kemp here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100%.
Yeah, it's your boy, Eric Franklin.
The one and only.
Yeah, we repping the rock. You could call it rock love. Increasing the stock, nothing's gonna stop us.
Yes.
You know, it's a marriage ministry me and my wife started back in 2013. You could follow me on Instagram at Franklin_status. Facebook, Eric Got Favor. Shout out to the wife, Franklin. Nothing is private. I'm all public, so yeah, I ain't got nothing to hide.
I like it.
Super dope. Yeah.
100%. In today's episode, it was greatly upon my heart. The title, if I had to title this, it was Adam and Eve and Their Offspring. Subtitled, it would be Marriages, Clean Dating While Waiting for the Right Spouse, and Raising Godly Kids in a Troubled Society. I believe Adam's Corner, again, is Father's tool to a world that is failing in so many of these areas. And I believe every man in here, again, from the marriage counselor to leading over the schools to intramural sports, there's things that we get to see firsthand and witness, that we have advice that this world needs, man. Marriages are on a decline when I look. Like they're on an incline, excuse me, as far as people are doing them, but they're on a decline as far as how long they're lasting. Like we're not seeing the, man, I've been married for 50, 60 years anymore. we're jumping around like it's hopscotch. I'm married and nah, it just didn't work. Like we don't know what it's like to like absolutely like put in the work to get what it takes to get there. And I believe again in the end, by the end of this podcast, is going to show the people exactly and specifically what they need. So the first question, if I could, the first question I got is, how did, your upbringing shape the way you lead your family now, for better or for worse? How did your upbringing shape the way you lead your family now? Let's start with you, E.
Cool. All right. So I was pretty much raised by my grandmother. She raised me and my brother on the west side, actually down the street on Lenox, dead end street, 19th Ward upbringing. So she was, old school grandma, go to church Sunday, Bible school. You understand? It was as I, we had read Psalms, 23 and stuff like that. So that thing's regurgitated. But she was still, I know as I've gotten older, and I'm putting pieces together, like she dealt with some things, right? So to me, she was married, but she was single. Wow. Granddad on my mom's side, he was a Rolling Stone, and it's evident it is what it is. But coming up, you don't know what you don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Your family is your family. I got, siblings, on both sides, but nobody is from the same connection. You feel what I'm saying? So I got, on my dad's side, it's 5 of us, but we all got from 5 different women, right? On my mom's side, it's 3 of us, and it's from 3 different men. But it was the norm, I'm not judging, it's just the facts. Yeah. So as I got older and more experienced with things, I was just like, I don't, them was their decisions. That don't necessarily mean I have to make those same decisions, even though I thought I did, having a baby at 18, you feel what I'm saying, which was scary within itself. So I'm like, man, I could make a decision now to be present, in her infancy, or kind of like be like how my dad was. But he I was like, he had his own thing, but just busy. You feel what I'm saying? Busy. But it kind of, as I got older and developed my relationship with God, I was just like, it's just some things that I just don't want.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And he worked that out, and it got me to a spot to where, coming up on 18 years of marriage.
That's
Beautiful,
fire. Salute to that. Yes, sir.
And I got, we got 3 kids, and they all with the same person. So that's major for me. You feel what I'm saying? So you could create your own story, not necessarily using as
not follow what you
That's
saw.
right.
And that's fire too, because I got to see and witness part of that firsthand. Like us going to high school together. I always smile, no shade to anybody, when I look back, and I always tell my wife, I say, there was a lot of people who were dating when we were in high school together, but there's not a lot of us that's still with our high school shorty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about actually walked it out and doing good. So like to see you, like I've seen it, bro. It's like for me, what I can remember back in the day to now was like, you did that. Like, nah, I refuse to do that. I'm buckling in. This is what it is, and we gonna rock this out. Yeah. And I salute you with that, because again, as a man, you can make any type of man. Today, it's like, just because you're young, don't mean I gotta stay with this person.
Right.
No, I do, because if I feel like when you looked at the situation, you made the decision as a man to say, this is greater than what I might want.
Yeah.
Like I might want to go do other things, but now I put someone else, the kids, before me, and this is what I have to do.
Yeah. I refused, even before I got my life right with Christ, you feel what I'm saying? Just as a principle, I refused to, be a statistic. It's like, okay, we having a baby, but I'm going to be a present father. You feel what I'm saying? So I just refused from out the gate, like, I'm going to be present, because I don't remember anything in my infancy as far as like my dad go. You feel what I'm saying? Like I've seen pictures, and then even like with Ariana, like I deliberately took pictures every 3 months. It was like called a Watch Me Go program with Olin Mills. If y'all young, y'all don't know that. So every 3 months, we would take pictures, you feel what I'm saying, for her first year. And it shows like her growth, you feel what I'm saying? So it was just some things that I decided to do. And then even like during the summer, right? I would get her for a month during the summer, like on my own. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, come, Christine, you chill out. You ain't even got to get her on the weekend. And I would get her every weekend, fam. I would get her every weekend. And the reason I got her every weekend is because, I 1 week I used to try to get her like every other weekend. And then one weekend I didn't get her. You feel what I'm saying? So that's like a month. You feel?
On time.
Yeah, which is not fair to Christine, her mom at that point, my wife now. Wasn't fair to her. And then I was like, I got to do better. So I'm gonna get her every weekend and a month during the summer. No legalities, no courts, just me being intentional.
Making the responsible decisions. That's fire. Yeah. I got a question for you in the schools. Because you're in there and you get to see it firsthand. Would you say that, like, listen to what he say, and is it more stereotype to believe that having both of those parents present plays a significant role in the kids? Or what you see firsthand, like you can look at it and be like, I can see these kids that really don't have these parents there that's playing a vital role in there. What would you say to that?
So it's a double-edged sword, right? In the school system, and again, we're talking about demographics, right? So I work in a school in the city. So our demographics are Black, Hispanic. And the stereotype and the facts right now are a lot of these kids are coming up without having two parents in the home. And it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But they're being raised by just mom or just grandma. Very rarely do we see fathers in the homes, which is, we getting way ahead of ourselves now, but that's why we're seeing a lot of the issues we're seeing right now is for fatherless homes. You know what I'm saying? So in the school system, yes, I definitely see where these kids are being raised by individuals and they don't see the mother and the father. We're not even talking about husband and wives at this point. I'm talking about just daddy and mommy, seeing both of them there.
True,
I have 5-year-old kids in kindergarten whose father's in prison. And the 5-year-old knows this. You know what I'm saying? I have third graders who are leaving school to go, with their father who just got out of prison. Mom knows nothing about it. I see this regularly, too regularly, way too often. So yeah, that's my vantage point, and it's a very unfortunate one.
Yeah.
I feel like that because I got just part of my story and backstory. I was one of them, like I made when I was with my high school sweetheart. We were together. We had my son. She had just given birth. My son was 2 months old. And when he was 2 months old, I made a immature, childish decision that caused me to leave them for 6.5 years. And it's crazy because at that moment, I had an opportunity of doing like the majority that we hear of like men come home filled with a bunch of promises of I'm gonna do, hit the streets, and they just run wild and go crazy and forget about what they see in the kids that they've seen throughout the years in prison. And for me, it was like I was destined to, when I came home, he won't be like this. So it was, for me, it was like, I don't care what I have to do in the household, I'll adapt because he can't see this as an option because my presence wasn't there, or I made it look like what's out there was cool. I heard a crazy saying, and they said, if you went through the streets and through the mud, the trenches as we call it, and your kids is doing the same, it's not a boast, like you failed as a parent. You failed.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
That's not a flex.
With that.
That's not a flex
It's not
at all.
a flex, man.
Yeah. And and I just want to speak to that too. So like you become an outlier, right? You become that guy who went off to prison and came home and said, my daughters won't go down this path, right? So you step up and you do what it is that you need to do. I consider myself an outlier too. I was listening to Eric's story. I grew up in a home where I had mommy and daddy, husband and wife, all my life. That's all I knew. So unlike my generation, I grew up with both parents in the home, and I know the first question you even kind of pose is like, how did that shape you? That definitely shaped and molded me because I had the opposite thing. I said, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
what I want. I seen my mother and father. My mother and father they were married 42 years, before my mom passed away, right? So 42 years is a long time. You understand what I'm saying? I won't date myself, but I've passed 42. You understand what I'm saying? I've passed 42 years old.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be married to the same person, raising a family,
Absolutely,
and there's 4 of us, right? So again, for my generation, I was an outlier. A lot of people I went to school with, including y'all, right? Same mother and father not in the picture, so I was an outlier. So I saw things on the opposite side. I said, that's what I want for my kids. I want my kids to grow up and have a stable home like how I did. And it's unfortunate, no shade to anybody else, but I can't really connect to the fatherless home because my father was there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a flex.
Yeah. That is a flex.
Yeah,
that is a
big
flex. There's some other things that went on, but my father was there.
That's a big
You
flex.
understand what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I grew up in the same kind of way, but as a parent, it's when I feel like we make a bad choice to not parent throughout our kids' entire life. And what I mean by that is, I had mother and father in the home. Parents had great jobs. They weren't in the street hustling, going crazy. And I remember a conversation that I had with my father. And my father said, I just want you to graduate because I did it. Once you graduate, boy, we about to turn up. And the craziest part is no shade to him. Like, this is what he knew. This was the life he lived. My father wasn't front anybody. My dad's a real individual. This is the life he lived. And all he wanted was for my son to live this life with me. I want nothing else as an honor because that's as far as he went with it, that I want my son right here with me. And so it took it to heart. So the moment I graduated, like I was in school and I did that. The moment I crossed that stage, everything else fell, bro. Like I could literally tribute that to my downfall, bro. Like the moment I crossed the stage, all else was off, bro.
That was like the standard, like
Yeah.
cross.
That's it. Like we're not worried about college. We're not worried about what you're gonna do after, bro. Just graduate. And the moment I graduated, bro, everything else didn't matter. And I was gonna ask you, because I know you deal with kids a lot, man. Like, what habits would you say have helped you stay spiritually consistent as a father?
Man, what habits? So first, can I start off with my story?
Yeah, please.
So my story is similar to yours. I would say, growing up, I grew up in a 2-parent household.
Come on.
Bio father wasn't around. He had his pitfalls with the crime system, and
Come on.
so he had his things going on. And then over time, he just wasn't around.
Yeah.
And my stepfather, I don't like to call him my stepfather. I would say my father. He raised me in the home. Him and my mom. They were married. Raised 3 boys. So that definitely helped me just to see how they navigated, right? And I saw the tough times and I saw the good one, or I saw the bad ones. So, but they fought really hard to make sure that we had what we needed, right? He was a grinder, business guy, business owner. My mom, she worked in dentistry, and he owned his home young.
Gotcha.
So he was just, they were getting to it together as a partnership. So that was very helpful. Just understanding like, I see y'all. You know what I mean? And every day wasn't pretty, but they fought really hard. And they made sure that we understood how important education was.
Yes, sir.
That came first. Jamaican guy, right? So Jamaican father, he's like, look,
you're
gonna get that work done, right? Sitting right next to you, like, you hear me? So, but that helped me, man. He just instilled those values, like, look, I'm gonna feed you good, right? We're gonna take care of you. Your only job is to get your education, have morals and values. And then on the other side, it was my mom that truly pushed, going to church, right? At a young age, we were all involved, man, from singing in the choir, from, little babies, doing stuff we didn't really technically want to do, to be honest, right? And then over time, it was like, this is what we do. Like, they made that the norm. So we serve, we ushers, and singing in the choir, to being involved in every aspect of youth service. So that definitely helped shape me and gave me a visual, like, you know, you know, you got to find Jesus for yourself. And at
I agree
those
with
young
that.
ages, I'll be honest, like sometimes we were going through the motions.
Yeah.
But it also was sinking in, like, okay, this stuff
Gotcha.
is starting to make sense. Like I see how hard my parents are going. I see how hard my mom is, is going. And my mom got my dad in the church, right?
That's fire.
Same way, like, look, this is what I'm on. So,
It's normally the woman that bring the man in.
yeah,
My wife sure brought
look,
me in.
a pretty face and
Yeah,
you
she brought me
devoted.
out. Shout out to my wife.
Yes.
She got me. Mhm.
Yes, man. So it's a blessing. But I want to give that backstory first.
Yes, sir.
And then you asked about the habits, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I would say being dedicated to, first off, knowing what your morals and values are, right? And as I said, my parents, they stood on that, right? You're going to be respectful.
Yeah.
You represent us everywhere we go, right? So
Everywhere.
we
They
don't play
were
about that.
big on that.
Yeah, like,
Boy.
what? You better tighten up. You better clean
Yeah.
yourself up.
Come
You're
on.
going outside. You know what your last name is. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you're about. Like, they made sure that we understood that. So I stood by those same principles. Like, you represent me. You represent your household.
Yeah.
You're going to get your education. So those are the things that, push me. I'm like, look, this is what we on. No matter what, you got to understand who you are.
Come on.
You got to be confident, right?
Yeah.
Like, have confidence every single day. Like,
Big.
and I think all of us have some type of insecurities,
Very
but we
much.
got to speak life to that. So just those things, man. I would say those are a few habits that really push me.
I feel like that's missing a lot in the houses today. To where they're like you said, you represent me. You know what I'm saying? You represent me when you leave these doors. Like, I'm very big on that even today. I remember that same thing being instilled in me as a kid.
Yeah.
And I knew that it wasn't a joke. Like, I almost feared it. Like, somebody coming home. I'm talking about teenager. I'm doing my thing. I ain't scared of nobody. I feared that coming back to my pops. Like, man, your son was out here tripping. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, where have we went left with it to where that's not the standard anymore?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these kids don't care about representing their parents anymore. And so because they don't care, it makes the stuff that we see in the world, the atrocities that we hear about, these Kia boys and these stabbings that's going on and jump-ins and craziness, it makes it easy for these young boys because they don't care about, man, I don't care about what I'm representing when I walk out those doors.
Yeah.
Those doors. You know what I mean?
I would say it had to start somewhere. And it's tough when you haven't seen a thing, right? You haven't seen it done a certain way. Most times our parents got it from, our grandparents. So it's like, all right, well, they brought this to the picture. Or even if it skips a generation, you're able to see it within your family. It could be an auntie or someone.
Somebody.
But it's unfortunate, but sometimes it's just not represented in the family lineage. Like, they don't see it as much. Or they can see it, but it's not instilled. Like, somebody has to pour into them, right, in some way. And if you never get that, it's gonna miss the kids. Or you have to stand on it and figure it out from somebody else. Somebody has to represent.
Somebody. I feel like that's what's missing with today. Like, somebody representing to say, this is the standard, this is what we should be doing. Like, when you often hear like the things that influence the children of today, their role models, they're not making the good impression or the lasting impression of this is what it looks like to be a whole man.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what's missing though? And it's gonna get controversial, right? And some people might not like this, right? One of the other things I am is I deal a lot with men, right? And I'm very active in my men's ministry, right? And the onus is, what we're missing? Is Adam, right? This Adam's corner, right?
Yeah.
We're on Adam's corner,
Yes,
right?
sir. Talk about it.
That's what we're missing. A lot of times we look at the child, we look at these kids, and we look at the teens and what they're doing. And at some level, we can't even fault them because Adam is missing in the picture. The God-fearing man, the God-fearing husband, the God-fearing father. Notice the order I said that, right? The man, the husband, the father. That's what's missing, bro. That's what we're missing right there. If you look at any kid with an issue, and some that don't have issues, trace it back to the lineage, trace it back to the home, trace it back to the father. And I promise you, Adam is missing. And it started when he missed his appointment with God. But I ain't gonna go that far. But that's what's missing. Like we don't need to think about it. We don't need to wonder what's missing. I'm telling you what's missing. The God-fearing man in the home is what's missing. We're dealing with a lawless generation.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So how do you impose that we turn that around? And I say that from the sense of I've been feeling like lately, and this is just me and everything that I do. I've been feeling like just the church, like us just meeting on Sundays and Wednesdays Bible study.
Not enough.
It's
Not enough. Not
it's
enough.
not enough. And we're getting content with just going in there, having church,
Absolutely.
going home, and I
Absolutely.
can mark it off the list, but yet society.
The thing is, we got to understand that our first calling as a man is not even to the church.
That's a big fact.
It's not to the church.
That's a big fact.
We got a lot of dudes talking about church this, church that, minister that, pastor this, preacher that,
Come
deacon
on.
this, right?
Come on.
What does your home look like?
Very much so.
What does your home look like? You understand what I'm saying? And that's the problem. So yeah, we go to church Sunday, we go
Come
to
on.
church Wednesday night, you go to a rehearsal, you do this. But what does your home look like? You follow what I'm saying? And that's how it's sessions like this. Is men like us getting together, having these conversations, but then also reaching out to other men too, right?
Yeah.
We can't be comfortable with just the dudes that go to our church, just the dudes that's in our men's ministry. When the last time you walked up and down the street and grabbed a random dude off the street, had a conversation with him, evangelized, witnessed to him, right?
Yeah.
We got Christian brothers who will walk down the street and not speak to the drunk, won't speak to the dope head, right?
Yeah.
Why? You're a Christian. That's what's missing, man.
Yeah.
And see, and that's what I've been lately on is how does your influence look with the men that you surround yourself with? So with the men that I surround myself with, I'm very intentional on development and bringing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I understand that that's what I have to do and that's where my duty is in this. Like, yes, I have a part to play in the house of God, but outside of it, because hypothetically, think about it. If I spend 2 to 3 hours on Sunday, if I spend 2 to 3 hours on Wednesday, how many hours do I have? I have 24 hours on Monday, Tuesday, 24 hours on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What am I doing with those 24 hours? And it's crazy because in the book that I'm currently writing right now,
Right?
right now,
Writing?
I'm
Writing?
like 50%
That's
done
dope.
with it.
Yeah.
50% done with it.
Okay.
I'm in it right now.
That's
Crazy.
dope.
One of the parts that I wrote, come on. Parts that I wrote in there is we're so adamant on how we give God and talking about the 10th that we give him financially. But how often do we talk about the 10th of time that we give him?
I like that.
So I can tell you, boy, I tithe. I give my
Yeah.
tithe every week. I make sure I give the house of God or God what belongs to him.
Yeah.
But now do you give God your 10th of time? There's 24 hours in a day. If you divide that 10th, do you give him 2.4 as a minimum standard a day? Can you say that? You know what I'm saying? And that comes with not just me on my knees, but now me giving the men my time. Anybody that know that they're connected to me, I'm an open door to what's up, man? How are you? What's going on? How can I help you? How is your marriage right now? How is this? What are you doing to just build even the standards of what you've been called to do? How was business? You told me last time we talked you were going to pursue this. How does this look? Do you have a bank account? Do you know how to change a tire? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that I feel like oftentimes nobody wants to be that person within the group that they're connected to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy for me to, yo, you seen that NBA game, bro? Bro, you seen the Jordans that just dropped?
Right.
And the craziest part is the men that's connected to me could probably answer quicker to that, but they're dying and failing in their marriages. They're dying and they're failing with their relationship with their children. And it's like, if I'm having these conversations, I just told somebody this. Me as a person that's conscious of knowing this, I'm going to have to give an answer to Father when it's time to
sure.
say, bro, you
For
was
sure.
connected to all these men.
Right.
You mean to tell me you ain't helped try to build them to the next level?
What you do, yep.
Your relationship wasn't to talk about that game.
Yeah.
That was just to open the door and get them to drop the walls. And then now that them walls is dropped, bro, let's talk about
that
real
real
issues.
talk. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what's needed. Completely. It's funny you said that because 1 Timothy 3:4-5 says, he must be one who manages his own household well, keeping his children under control with all dignity. But if a man does not know how to manage his own household, how will he take care of the church of God?
Yes, sir. I love that. that's something that I have to that I work on
Come on.
pretty often, honestly. Because I'm in a position of being a deacon right at my church.
Mhm.
I have 3 boys. I don't want to call it a single father, but I'm divorced.
Come on.
So a lot of my time is devoted to taking care of my boys, right?
Yeah.
And there's times where I have to tell, our lead deacon or my pastor, look, I can't make it. I got to take care of home first.
It's fire.
At first, I'll be honest, it wasn't that easy to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, yo, you put me in a role here, God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to serve you. Help me understand what that looks like. I have a great lead deacon at our church, and he's like, look, family is important.
It's
You know what I
priority.
mean? It's like you said, it is priority.
Yeah.
He's like, look, you got to take care of your family. And you know me, I'm moving with them.
Yes, sir.
They're involved in sports. Even at church, they do stuff at church. They're
Come on.
involved in the community. So I gotta make sure that they understand, like, you gotta begin to understand who you are, right? And a lot of different environments are gonna shape you. But I gotta do my part at home.
Come on.
Right? Praying with you,
Mm-hmm.
showing you what this household is supposed to look like. And also just empowering them. Because, without that, like, I'm nothing at church.
Yeah,
You know what I
all
mean?
completely. I failed
my
the job.
mind is all over the place.
Mhm.
So,
I failed the job.
yeah.
I feel like it can honestly even be a distraction.
For sure.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So now
Yeah.
I run this way to do all this in the house of God, and
For
then
sure.
I'm missing the fact that my kid needs me. I'm missing the fact that not just my kid, but my wife needs me.
Yeah.
I'm so concentrated on that hypothetically my wife feels like, what marriage?
Yeah.
We're roommates. That was one of the toughest conversations
That's a tough one.
My wife told me, she said, I feel like we're roommates.
Mm.
And the craziest part was not I feel like we're roommates because then you're outside every night. We outside tonight. No, I'm
Yeah.
actually doing the good things.
Right.
I'm doing the good things. Like I'm serving in the ministry. I'm helping these men. I'm doing all of this stuff. And all that's noble. That's good. But
Yeah.
managing your home.
Absolutely.
Tinkling symbol,
Yeah.
bruh. Word, no
Yeah.
substance. But the fact that she even brought that to you means like, yo, like I care.
Right.
You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I care about us and I care about you, and it's not matching up.
Mhm.
So that's your opportunity to get it
Yeah.
together, because she could have just let it fizzle
Yeah.
and be and yeah, and
For
then
sure.
at that point, a woman scorned.
Yeah.
They say there's no coming back.
You feel
Yeah.
me?
It's a
Come
double.
on.
Yeah. No matter how much you
Yeah, it
tarry,
took some
It's
strength on her
over.
part for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
So,
I would ask, seeing as a marriage counselor and seeing so many marriages come through, prayed over, talked for help, all that kind of thing, what would you say is like good advice that you would give somebody, to give a couple out here that's not where they need to be, that marriage just seems like they just seem like they're roommates, or it just seems like we're doing life for the kids or how things are. What is it good advice that you would say in order to get it back on?
so a couple things, right? And I call it a couple goals,
Mm.
right? Get it? Couple goals, like a
Mhm.
couple goals, right?
Mhm.
So right. So it's this thing I call first, like there's an intimacy portion, right?
Mm.
I call it the 20-second. I think I shared it with you. The 20-second vacation,
Mm.
right? Where it's actually like a 20-second hug,
Mm.
right? Like this, me and Christine do as soon as we come in the house.
Mm.
Don't even say nothing, for the most part. Come and hug, and we just 20 seconds,
Mm.
like just me and her. Whatever I came from, it don't even matter. What the kids got going on, it don't even matter, and that builds like the oxytocin, and so it builds that chemistry, right? So
Yeah.
so it's that. So it's a 20-second vacation, and you have to work at it. So you have to like date intentionally, with the busyness of life. You feel what I'm saying? You can get caught up in the mundane and get comfortable to where you're not, going out,
Yeah.
and you,
got it.
yeah, like, yeah,
Yeah.
but like I met Christine.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you might, like I'm touching the butt.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
Mac, like yo, come here, girl. Like you feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I need you.
Yeah.
I'm still interested.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's dope,
And
man.
I think before you go on, that crazy part why that's fire is because I think we forget how many dudes be interested in them.
Right.
So I got them.
Yeah.
And I'm, I ain't got to do all that.
Man,
but yeah.
please.
Hey, can I jump in too real quick? Because with that, the other important thing that I've learned in my marriage too is do it in front of the kids. too.
Yeah.
Because you showing them
Yeah.
what healthy marriages look like.
like.
Even if
Yeah.
the boys, your sons don't like it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing this butt.
Yeah, that's right. I respect that. I respect
You feel what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah.
So the 20-second vacation, right? I also, hang around healthy couples,
Mhm.
healthy
Man,
marriages
that's
and stuff
important.
like that. Get
Yeah.
wise counsel.
Yeah.
And so 20-second vacation, flirt a lot, go on dates, pray together, obviously pray together, and just have fun.
Yeah.
You feel like life is busy enough. It's enough things that'll just knock you down.
Yeah.
But you gotta have fun together, man. Word, like go back to what initially got y'all together.
Mhm.
Me and Christine went through something, right? And I'm just like, yo, I don't like it, but it all boiled down to before she was my wife, before she was a mom, she was my friend.
Mhm.
Nigga, I miss my friend.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think people miss sight of like, yo, y'all used to be friends.
Yeah.
Like you have to go back to that spot, like, yo, like where my friend at? You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Got a question. On the flip side, hearing from what you said, what advice would you give to, I know you said that not married anymore. Like, what advice would you give to, it's easy in the day and age, especially for a man to be a good man and working, I have morals and values, and women see you as a catch. But to determine in yourself, I don't have to sleep with everything. I'm waiting for the woman that God is sending me, and I'm okay with myself and God until it happens. What advice will you give for somebody that's just, I got to run through everything, or I have to go find something. I got to go find something right now. Like, how do you deal with that, or what would you give?
Well, first I'm gonna start off with I'm not perfect, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to believe that it's that easy of a life, right? 'Cause
Come
it's
on.
really not. And I'm gonna be blunt about it.
Yes, sir.
But the advice that I would give is, well, first you got to work on yourself.
That's good.
That's one thing that I really learned. Because coming out of a divorce, you're ready to go. Like,
Yes, sir.
like, hey, what's here? I'm free.
Where they at?
Yeah, right. So you moving different, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna act like it's different. You like, all right, cool. It's a lot going on out here, right? But then you realize it's really not that much going on out there.
Come on.
And once you see that, you're like, man, like this is what it's like.
Come
you know
on.
what I mean? But first, I would say just get in touch with who you are, right? And your purpose, right?
Come
That's number one. What God put me out here for, because that's gonna always help you go back to the drawing board.
That's good.
Purpose is absolutely what we should always follow. And then make sure that what you're looking for matches you.
That's good.
I'm not gonna lie, as men, we look for stuff that sometimes we look for stuff that we don't need, right? Right. We see
But
a
people
pretty
used to say,
face.
I like what like me.
Yeah, right. But you gotta
That's
be
terrible.
you gotta be careful.
That's terrible
Right?
saying.
You gotta be careful because it's sometimes what you attract or
Yeah.
just you realize like, yo, I'm actually not in the place that I thought I was in.
Come on.
Right. So after realizing that, you got to be honest. Like, look, these aren't the things that's gonna get me closer to God.
Yeah.
And that should be the main goal, right? And I don't care what time it is, right? If what time you notice it, because that it can happen. I've been in that situation before where I'm like, yo, things were smooth, it seems smooth, and then boom, it's like, dang, God just spoke to me.
Wow.
Said this not going,
Yeah.
it's looking like a no.
Yeah.
So it's really hard, but just your prayer life got to be strong. You should know your purpose,
Come on.
and make sure it aligns with what God is giving you, because that can change, right? God could be moving you in one direction,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, God's like,
Switch.
nah, like you falling too deep, you getting too
Yeah.
caught up in this, and it's not that. And you rely on Him to give you that, and when it's time to cut it off, cut it off. But if God is showing you that this person is right, trust it, and get yourself right and continue that.
That's fire.
Alone.
That's fire. I
And
receive it.
I want to add something to that. So like Bible says, acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will direct your path. So that means even in your foolish decisions.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm about to walk down this street where this thing at.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel what I'm
God,
saying? Yo,
yeah.
God, I'm about to, like, as long as you're like, it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, even in, because, like, nobody's perfect, but
Mhm.
but our intention should mean well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, in acknowledging him in all you do, he'll get you right. But if you just out here,
Yeah.
just
Sowing Roy Oaks.
yeah, you just out here, you
Mhm.
gonna feel
Yeah.
that burn. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I even like the scenario you gave, because you got to be careful too about playing with temptation, man.
Right.
It's a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
you think you're stronger than what you are, but if you don't trust God, like, you're gonna fall. It's just gonna happen. And temptation is everywhere.
Everywhere
You
and
can't
everything.
you can't play with it. The minute
Mhm.
you make it seem like it's something
Mhm.
and you didn't turn the other way, it's gonna come back for
Mhm.
you. So
How do you lead? How do you lead? Lead your family, lead your children. How do you lead when you feel spiritually dry or weak?
That's a that's a rough question, right? And I'll try to be real as possible. I can't remember the last time I felt spiritually weak, right? Because I've been very intentional. Now, this is just me. I've been very intentional. And I'll put the cat out the bag. I shared it with Eric. You already know. So I'm in my second marriage right now, right? So again, I was divorced. I had two beautiful daughters in the first marriage. So I had to be intentional about what I was going to do differently this time. You follow what I'm saying? The last time I was spiritually weak, if you will, I slipped off into an area of I don't want to say depression, but maybe oppression. I was wild. I was out of control. And we keeping it funky, right? I was wild. I was out here, right? But it's because I was spiritually weak. My relationship with Christ, non-existent. If I'm being funky, non-existent, right? Yeah, saved at 12 and all of that stuff. Wasn't living that, right? Son of a preacher, pastor's kid, all of that, right? So spiritually weak, yes. There has been moments and times where you can get off relationship or out of relationship with Christ or further away from him than you should be. You kind of headed towards this isolation state. So in moments like that, I fell back on what I knew, what I remember my father doing, and I mimicked, right? So again, like I told you, I was an outlier, right? I would fall back on what I knew was the right thing to do, even though I wasn't living the right thing to do, right? Because now for my kids' sake, and I'm talking about in my between time of being divorced and remarried. So don't think nothing
No,
crazy
we
in
wish- Say
social media
yesterday.
world, right? Yeah, I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about in that in between
no,
piece,
we
right?
with you, man.
But even since I've been remarried, right, there
Yeah.
are those times where I won't say I've been spiritually weak, but I've disconnected myself from Father,
Yeah.
right? Not that he's walked away, but I've done that,
Mhm.
right? So I've walked away. To answer your question, though, I lead, I fall back on what I remember,
Mhm.
and I mimic because, again, I had an example in the home of that. So again, it's that old thing of, do as I say, not as I do type thing.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that's the right way to do it,
Yeah.
but being transparent, that's how I cope with that. So in a situation where I'm not where I should be in my relationship with Christ, I go back to what I've seen my father do. I go back to what I know is the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring these issues to your home. You don't say this in front of your kid. You don't say this to your kid. You don't say this to your wife. You don't do these certain things, right? So I was always being the example or leading by precepts, even though I wasn't living it. That makes sense? And I think if we're honest, like that's where a lot of guys fall off. Like we not walking upright and perfect every day of our life. Don't tell me that. Jesus is the only one perfect. Jesus is the only one perfect. So when you not where you're supposed to be, what is it that you're doing? Because your spouse, your children, the people around you, everybody's looking at you. So what are you doing? How are you leading? So for me, I go back to what I know is the right thing to do, what I've seen, and that's how I get through it.
I take that.
Mhm.
Eric,
That's encouraging.
speaking of
That's
encouraging,
encouraging for real.
what encouragement would you give men who feel like they're failing? Failing in their marriages, failing in their life right now, failing as a father. Like, what advice would you give men?
All right, so I would go as Adam's corner, right? So I would go back to Adam. You know what I'm saying? When it's just him and God in the garden. You feel what I'm saying? He gave him work to do. You feel gave him a purpose. Um, taught him to name these things. So he got busy, and this is before he even introduced him to the woman, right? So I would say that the man, get your life right with God. You feel what I'm saying? Whether it's going to church or getting up, reading every morning, reading the Bible, or getting around good men, healthy men, um, and sticking to your word. You feel what I'm saying? Like sticking to your word. Like if you say you're gonna do something, you feel me? Like be a man and do it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I'm a firm believer in principle over personality. You feel what I'm saying? I learned that from my dad. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, like yeah, you're a good person, but the principle is just not aligning with me. You feel what I'm saying? So I would say, go back into the garden, man. Get into God's presence. Um, get a purpose. You feel like you go to the gym. You feel what I'm saying? Get to take care of the physical portion and just and also and if you're like real busy trying to like avoid things, you feel what I'm saying, and not really dealing with the issue, like rest.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Sit your butt down and take a nap. You feel what I'm saying? Jesus took a nap. Jesus rested. And then he also told his mans to rest. You feel what I'm saying? So resting is essential. Like, so don't be so burnt out that you no good to the people that need you the most. You feel what I'm saying?
Can I just piggyback too? Because I mean, the way you posed the question was so fire, right? Because when you deal with men too, and I'm a straight shooter, right? Where did you miss your appointment, right? You talked about Adam, right? That resonated with me because it's like the minute Adam missed his appointment, that's when all hell broke loose, literally. The minute he missed his appointment, right? So my guy, if you struggling in all these different areas, right? If you you got it. If you struggling in all these different areas, my question is, when did you miss your appointment? When did you wake up and not pray?
Yeah.
Eric already said it. When did you wake up and not get in your scripture, right?
Right.
So you missed an appointment somewhere, and I can even testify. I'm an open book, right? Like, even I missed an appointment. You know what I'm saying? And that's that moment when you miss the appointment. That's when everything goes crazy, man. That's from the beginning. From the beginning, when you miss that appointment with Father, that's when it's done.
God, that's good, bro.
And it probably won't get back on until you get back
Till you
into
get
that
back,
place.
That's
right?
crazy.
You
Yeah.
gotta get back to the garden.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Back to the
So
garden.
listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
Applying to you.
Yes.
What would you tell me? What boundaries have you set to protect your home spiritually?
Oh
What
man.
boundaries have you set in place to protect your home spiritually?
I pray like crazy, right? I'm
Yes,
someone that prays all the time.
Come on.
But I will kind of go back to what was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying. I'm the early morning prayer.
Come
And that's routine.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm off, but for the most part, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading. Um, what would be some other boundaries?
Mhm.
Oh, I took out a lot of things as well. Like,
Mhm.
after my divorce, I wasn't a deacon at the time.
Yes, sir.
But we're not doing no drinking in my house. Like certain things just don't,
Yeah.
you can't come in my house with, right?
That's deep.
So the things, one of the ear gates, right? I had to
Mhm.
close that, right? We're not coming in with foolishness. No, you're not gonna talk to anyone any kind of way in my home. Like those
That's deep.
those
Mhm.
small things. So I would say those would be some of the boundaries that I put in my house. I'm trying to think of some more because it is some more.
Phone a friend. Give me some of
other
your
boundaries.
give me some boundaries.
My wife and I, we started this thing, called Protecting Our Peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anybody, I don't care who you are, family, friend, colleague, coworker, if you are disrupting our peace,
Mm.
you got a one-way
Yeah.
ticket. Like, we're not fooling with you, right? our household, we know we don't do drama, right?
Yeah.
We got 4 kids living in the house.
So now-
We got 4 kids living in the house,
Wow.
and I'm talking about ages 5 to 16, right?
Yes, sir.
We don't do drama. We talk. We have family meetings. Like, and people think we crazy, right? We
Yeah.
legit sit down at the table and have family meetings. You got some concerns? Bring it to this table.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go outside of this house talking about your brother, talking about your sister. And then the other thing too is I'm conscious about modeling behavior. My wife and I, we model the behavior that we want our children to have, because we got to set the boundaries for the home, man. You know, my 12-year-old son, you know, y'all who got kids and sons specifically, you know, he's my oldest son, right? So I'm learning this thing. I talk to my brother a lot. He has a son who's 17, 18, something like, I think 17. Like, did he get to this point? How'd you handle this? Because like, I'm ready to knock your head off, right? You know, and I've said things to my son like, do you hear me talk to your mother like that? Do you see me talk to your sisters like that? If you don't see and hear me do it, you're not gonna do it. And yes, you're 12. My 5-year-old, the same thing. Who you talking to like that? We don't do that. But again, if daddy not setting the tone, it can go crazy. And it's the same thing with my wife, right? Do you see her leaving this on the floor? Do you see her leaving this? Do you see her not making up her bed? No. So if that's not what you're seeing, you're not going to do it either. So it's those type of things. You set boundaries, you set expectations for what you expect in the home. You know what I mean? And it's a work in progress. And it's not something you just do one time. I'm talking about we have regular family meetings on the calendar. They're scheduled on the calendar. And the older ones who use a calendar is like, we got a family meeting. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you do.
Definitely
I
stealing
put that
some
in
of
my
those
pocket.
from you,
I'm not even
man.
gonna lie. I ain't do that.
That's cool,
Yeah.
and,
Put that in my
that's,
pocket.
and that's duplicatable for your kids.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So that when they establish their own households,
But that's what we
they
trying.
fall
Yeah.
back to what you
Yes.
fall back on with
Yeah.
what you see with your dad
Yeah.
doing. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
And then that
fire.
just makes it, that puts them that much more further ahead.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying. I feel like I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To your point, you started off saying, you know, we weren't taught some of these things.
Yes.
Right? And we all come from different backgrounds,
I
right?
came from
we
you a kid.
Right.
Shut up.
Stay in the kid's
Right.
place.
You ain't gonna
Stay
make
in the
no
kids'
place.
rules and no boundaries. I
Yeah,
don't care
yeah,
what you
yeah.
don't like.
Right.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to do things differently. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And are we perfect? Absolutely not.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. But do we have chaos in our home?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Right.
We don't have, and I'm gonna tell my wife will watch this. We don't do chaos.
Right.
We don't do that, and we establish it. You know, Kwame mentioned earlier, even church, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not a question. On Sundays, we're in church.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy's going
For
to church. It ain't mommy and the kids at church and daddy at home. The daddy's usually out and gone before them, actually, just because of my role. You understand what I'm saying? But like, it's not a question. Can I stay home from church today? What? Are you crazy? No. Boundaries have been set. Sundays, church. Period. Any and everything else after. Can I pick up a shift to work? No, not on a Sunday. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not gonna work on a Sunday. Don't even think about it. Oh, that's the only day they got? You ain't working. And these are things that we're setting, because these are the boundaries that we're setting. To your point, y'all gotta be better than me. Daughters and sons, you gotta be better than me.
I said on the last one, they said your father, especially to sons, your father is the only man you'll ever meet in life that wants you to be better than him.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Gotta be better than me.
100%. You gotta be better.
Gotta be. E, I got a question for you, E.
You.
What mistakes, intentional, vulnerable moment, what mistakes have you made as a father that taught you the most?
Mistakes I made as a father
That taught you
that
the
taught
most.
me the most. Like I talked about earlier with Ariana, where I didn't get her that one weekend. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, dang, like I ain't see her, because like I said, I was getting her every other weekend initially, just because I'm like, well, I need my weekend too. You feel what I'm saying? And then I didn't get her that one weekend when it was every other weekend. Then it was a whole month that I didn't see my baby, and I'm like, that's not fair to her. So again, so that got me on the path to where like I'm gonna get her every weekend. Yeah, in a month, in the summer. You feel what I'm saying? So that was a mistake or a life lesson that I'll say that I learned. But in regards to these other where I'm at now, I think I'm doing all right.
That's what's up.
I feel
You
like
are.
I- I feel like
You
I-
are.
I feel
You
like
are.
I'm doing. I think, but I think like that established, because it like for me, truth, like one time, all it takes for me one. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't.
Learn it
I'm not
from-
like a repeat offender, really,
Yeah.
when it comes to like things, that's like life altering. You feel what I'm saying? Because again, like, so if I missed that weekend, right? So now Christine can have a disdain for me. Like, okay, all right, do it again. Even though she was just kind of like, you know, okay, you're not
Yeah.
coming or whatever. But in my, I'm like, yo, I didn't like really see her for a month.
Yeah.
Like just that easy, that can happen, and that just didn't sit well with me.
It's crazy because what I hear inside of that is like your word, and then you went back to saying it as well. And I feel like I had a conversation before with an older person. They told me, they said, the problem that most marriages, relationships have is you not keeping your word. And I was like, well, what you mean by that? And he was like, I'm gonna give you a great example, that's small but a great example. He said, you ever been out and you was chilling, and then you talked to her and you was like, first off, before you went out, you told her, I'm gonna be back in the house by like 6,
Such and
7
such
o'clock.
time, yeah.
Okay, bet. And then by like, let's say you said 6, at like 5:30, you hit her like, well, we still chilling. I'll be in by 7:30.
Right.
Okay, bet. Then at 7:30, like 7, you hit her like, yeah, we still chilling. I'm gonna be in the house by 9.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done that. And the craziest part is when I got in the house, 10, 11, whatever time, she said, okay, all of those times, my wife would tell me, she would say, why you tell me a time from the beginning?
Right.
Why not just say you was going out?
Right.
Like you did this to me and
Right.
had
Yeah.
me an expectation
Yeah.
because you're coming, because I only know what you say. And the craziest part is he told me after that, and it was like a slap in the face. He said, what you do is every time you do that, no matter how small or big, you're watering down how much they trust you.
Yeah.
I can't trust you. If you lied about I'll be home in an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then you would tell a story about something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's the worst thing to have a person that's yours don't trust you or believe you what you say.
Right. Based off of your actions.
Yeah.
And it's not that she's just like you made her that way. You feel what I'm saying?
It's deep.
From your habit.
The other side of that is the kids too. The kids will make you feel like you just the world's biggest liar, right? Even when it's unintentional. You know, I'll speak this week. My son, my wife ended up having to take the boys to the barbershop. It's not a common practice. But I had a board meeting, right? So I couldn't do it. The barber had to get him in at a certain time. I'm like, yo, I need you to take him to the barbershop. She calls me, my 5-year-old don't want to get in the chair. So I have a conversation with him, like, you know, you got to do good, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You do that and our daddy will bring you something home, right? Okay, he gets in the chair. Heard he still was whatever, you know, he didn't get his little lollipop this time, not a big deal. I leave the board meeting not thinking about what I said. I walk in the house. What you think I get hit with when I walk in the house? What did you bring me? So now, yes, unintentional, but at the end of the day, daddy told me something and he didn't do it. You know how that killed me, man? It killed me. It messed me up, man. So then I had to go double on him. I went and got 2 things, you know, but again, it's like to your point, like you don't want to start watering that and it's like, I can't trust daddy.
Yeah.
I can't trust my dad.
You know where I go in frustration off of that? Just being vulnerable and being real. For me personally. And I had to literally give this to God. For me, vulnerable moment. Pride. Let's call it what it is. Pride was set in for me, and because you didn't mean to not get that. You were taking care of things that inevitably was for the betterment of this whole house.
Yeah.
So when I forgot it because it was a small thing and I was taking care of other big things that help all this run, and then you say, oh man, you forgot my whatever it was. Oh man, and now I'm like, you know what I do? Do you know what I do for this house? Are you mad at me about what?
Yeah.
Them Jordans you got on, it's light. That PlayStation you paying, like, and again, it's pride when you told them you was going to do
Absolutely.
this. They didn't ask you
Right.
that, so now
Yes.
you want to throw
I
all this in their
volunteered
face.
that information up. I
Now
said
you want
it.
to throw all this in
Right.
their face.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, what it got me at one day and it slapped me in the face. Holy Spirit said, your Heavenly Father don't ever do that to you, bruh. He don't ever make you feel that small, bruh. And it's the craziest part is it say, children are a gift. And I vision myself how Father is looking down at me, talk to them that way after I made the promise. I was the one that was dead wrong. And then now I come back to him a day, a week, a month later on and be like, Father, I really need you to do this for my family. And he like, boy, you think I forgot how you treated that other gift last week? But you want me to do what else for you? And I'm like, it makes me like sharpen up to where I gotta do better. Like, I gotta do better. It's time to do better. You were wrong. The kid wasn't wrong because they called you on it. You was wrong. You said that. That's deep.
Yeah.
I feel like it's time though. It's time for men to really step up. I really feel that way, but I feel like it's gonna take other men around them to say, I'll be the one that helps out in this world right now. And I feel like there's too less of that. So I feel like, let me ask this question to all of you guys, because if we feel like saying your statement that it's time for men, Adam, to get back to position, but yet men aren't in the household like they need, but yet because they're in prison, they're wherever, yada, yada, yada. And so now I'm so focused on my house that I don't have time to build other men. Would you say that I'm doing I'm doing a disservice to that? Like, whenever does it come a point to where I have to tell my family that, like, you're not going to see as much as dad because I have a job to do that's for the betterment of everybody? It kind of feels like this, before you answer, it kind of feels like what I'm asking is, it's like, Jesus, God gave his only begotten son. You don't think that he wanted to keep his son?
Oh, for
But
sure
I'll
he
give my
did,
son
yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah.
And so does it ever become a point where we're supposed to say, family, you're not going to see as much as me in this season, and I know it might be hard, or no, you can't have a bunch of dad's time, or wife, I'm going to have to break a couple of the date night appointments because there's some men that I'm connected to that really need me in this season, and it's to a betterment of everything.
So I think it all boils down to make it plain and simple, just communication. Like, yo, we got some different things coming on this month. I got to go take care of this. You understand? And it gives them a dose of reality that everything is not the same, even with like with date night, right? Like Christine, she's great. She schedules out the year on the calendar.
That's fire.
Right? So we already so it's prioritized, right? But but we don't hit every date on the calendar, every month. But that you're allowed to reschedule, which again boils down to communication. You feel so? So I feel as long as the communication is thorough, you feel what I'm saying? You're a man of your word. I feel like everything within itself will work out, because you can't be everywhere at all times. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if God got you in a particular place where men are pulling on you and they need what you have. Like, you can't be everywhere at all times, and you can still be effective in all regards. But I believe it all boils down to communication.
I would agree with that 100%. I'm gonna be the difficult one. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be the difficult one. To answer your question directly, we as men of God, should never be in a position where we say, family, I gotta put you to the side for the next man. My dad used to say charity starts at home and then spreads abroad, right? Charity starts at home and then spreads abroad, right? So as men, again, you read it in Timothy, right? You got to be good managers of your own home first. Your home is your first assignment, period, as a man. Never should my family feel like I'm putting them on the back burner for any other grown man. Now, as men of God, trying to build and disciple and mentor and coach other men, absolutely, we have that calling as well. We have that job to do as well. To Eric's point, is how you communicate that. It should never be communicated to the family like, you got to do this because daddy got to do this. They should be watching how you live. Your family should be watching how you move. They should know, when I left today, my baby, where are you going? I said, daddy got to go do a podcast. What's a podcast? So now I'm explaining what a podcast. Who's going to be there? 3 other men. We're going to talk, right? So again, it was never, I'll see you later. I'm putting you on the back burner for this. While he's standing there using the bathroom with the door open, I said, all right, buddy, well, I'm going to go. I love you. I'll see you later, right? So again, but he knows because he's very much aligned with what I do, period. Especially my little one. He's always like, where you going, what you doing, right? So to the point of communication, if you communicate in that, your family will never feel like, and we should never get to the point where we feel like you got to tell the family, yo, pause, chill out, I got to go do this, I got to take care of that. It should be an alignment that just naturally flows from the heart, from the man, because my family knows, my kids, my wife, everybody knows. They know I'm a men's ministry overseer. They know I work a secular job. They know I'm in youth ministry. They know they know all of these things, so it doesn't come as a surprise, and they don't feel like they're on the back burner.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Like, I'm the difficult one. I'm a straight
good
shooter.
points. Definitely good points. Because alignment that's what
key.
you need. Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you got the right lady, she's gonna know, look, this is a partnership. So
Yes.
I'm gonna cover my part because I know that it's for the betterment of our family as well.
Yeah.
We need you to serve.
I
Absolutely.
think for me in the house, what's been our success in the season is when we got ordained, and our pastor told us, she said, before we ordain you, have a important task. And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking she about to tell me some old lofty, yada yada yada, and it was. She said, I need you to sit down with your children. That's it.
Absolutely.
And I need you to tell them what you are about to do and what's about to happen.
Absolutely. That's
And
wisdom.
then upon having that conversation, I need you to listen to them tell you what their thoughts about it is going to be. Then you're supposed to pray over it as a family and walk in unity. So
Love
this
that.
is what I'm saying has been to our success.
Yeah.
When we had that conversation, they gave us their ideas. Like, that could mean you guys might be out the house more. Like we heard everything that they said. It's like the first thing like my daughter is saying, like most kids would ask the older one, does that mean I got to stay in the house and watch, the little one more? And so our thing was, what we explained to them, and this is after me and my wife prayed and touched an agreement, was, no, what this means is we need you guys to come with us more.
Yes.
And I've watched my pastors do it. And I'm talking about I've watched them do it to where I can see the growth on their children. I don't just need you guys to stay home. So it's not me and mommy leaving to go do this,
Correct.
but I need you to come.
Yeah.
So son, I need you to come to this men's joint with me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to come so that y'all can firsthand witness what A, Holy Spirit is about to do in the room, but B, for y'all to see what mommy and daddy's doing so that you can see that we're not just going to leave y'all to go outside and chill and go do all of this, but I need y'all to see the purpose. So now my kids are seeing families healed and restored. My kids are seeing us talk to men who felt like there was no purpose and them smile again and they haven't smiled in a while. My kids are seeing this. And so now after every event we go to, we have little small family discussions.
Right.
What did you guys see from your eyes?
Yep.
What did you guys see? What did you guys didn't like? Did you think it was too long? Did you see this? But oftentimes, even though they might joke and say it was a little long, I can hear them say, Dad, I seen when he was upset and then he started smiling. Dad, I seen when they raised their hand and they surrendered and I know God was in the room. So now, watch this. Here's the effects. Watch this. It's so fire. I just watched my introvert daughter, who doesn't really talk, who's sitting in the corner as of last year, walk into church last Sunday and preach her first sermon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's super
That's
dope.
dope.
Not forced, not pushed. Not, I'm talking about ready. Like,
Yeah.
not us write the notes for her, like all ready. And I'm talking about, and the crazy part was she gave a grown folk word. I had grown folk coming to me like,
Yeah.
boy, that wasn't no kid word. I helped her? Not one bit.
That's beautiful.
And again, that's because her watching what we do.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the thing of where in this season, that's what it's going to take for the men. That's where I was getting to, the men of God and the women of God to jump on and do. Like, no leaving families. And that's the easy option.
Right.
Because again, to let it be my kids, they stay home happily.
Absolutely.
Like my son, like, Dad, I'm on the game all day. When
Right,
you get
right.
back, I'll be waiting for you. I'm on the game like this the whole time.
Right.
Nah,
It's
son,
not an
that's
option.
good, but
Yeah.
come on.
An option.
ride with Papa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what's needed in this situation.
Yeah.
For them to see it.
I definitely agree with you. You get me excited because that's some of my beliefs in my home, right?
Come
Open communication,
Yes.
and being honest, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention my divorce again, right? Just
Come
going
on.
through that. I had to be honest with my kids about how things played out, not super specific,
Yes.
right? Because that's not important. But the things that are important, they need to understand,
Yes.
right? So being open and honest and
Mm-hmm.
allowing them to ask questions, to get an understanding. One of my beliefs in my home is like they got to understand their part in the plan, right?
That's good. That's good.
If
like
dad's
that.
doing something, like these are the things I need you to do because dad is doing this, and this is how it's helping me, right? And the way that looks sometimes, like I'll give an example, like I run this all pro dads at our school, right? So my son, sometimes he's late to school, right? Because I have to do this. I'm like, look, this is part of my role. My baby boy, he's 7 years old. So I'll take him with me to another school, run an all pro dads.
Wow.
He helps me like set up sometimes, like, and he wants to do it, right? He's
Yeah.
helping me set up, going through the motions, and he feels a part of the plan, right?
That's fire.
Kids think he goes to the school sometimes. They're like, oh, who is this kid? Right. But he's a part of that plan. I go up, I speak, I do my presentation, going through everything. He wants to help. He's eating donuts with all the rest of the kids. But the way that I foresee that long term is like, oh, my son is understanding the importance of like what my father's doing, right? He's speaking in front of people. He's also the way that he's carrying out, his tasks. That all matters because that's a part of their plan as well, right? Some way, shape, or form, right? This in your lineage, right? It's like, look, you're a part of me. So, you know what I mean? So now you're birthing something, right? So they're actually getting to see like, okay, like one day I'm going to be put in a position where I'm going to have to do something and it should, I'm learning how to execute it. So that type of stuff gets me so excited,
fire,
man, because
bro.
I always want to be a part of it.
That's
It
fire.
feel natural for him.
Yes,
I see
exactly.
my daddy did, man, please let's do it.
Yes.
That'd be the first one. Yo, we
what
need
question would I
somebody
ask?
to do this at school or something. Oh, I can do it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. What conversation are Christian parents avoiding but desperately need to have?
I feel like they should be authentic and truthful with their kids. I feel like I just give an example, right? Christine grandmother, right? So she came outside one day and she was like, somebody's smoking weefer. Right, this they grandmother out and this me. How you know what weefer smell like? and they like, Eric, don't say that to her. No, it's she has to have been around or smoked it to know what it smelled like. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's your grandma, but she ain't always been grandma. I feel like that's a missing piece as far as like what they've been through. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you see me refined now, but let me tell you, I was a mess. You feel what I'm saying? But God brought me this far. I think like the dose of reality, they need to, their kids need to know that they obviously wasn't always their parents, but they need to know some things that they've been through and not kind of like, put a veil over it. They need the raw, uncut.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
John?
I would agree. I can jump right there. I think honest, open, transparent conversations, Christian parents specifically, they avoid real conversations. Part of it is ignorance. Some of it is just the old school mentality. Like you said, I grew up in a situation where it's like, you're a child, you don't come in here, you don't sit around grown folks, you do what I say, you don't do as I do, all of those type of things. It's unfortunate, but that's really not the world now. And it's something that I've had to adjust to, and I'm sure we all have, is allowing your child space to kind of talk, right? Because here's the real deal, and I see this in the schools. I know Kwame he could, like, if your kid can't talk to you, trust me, they're talking to somebody. So if my child can't come to daddy, who are you talking to, right? Christian parents, fathers, I always put the onus on the fathers first. What are you allowing for your kids to say? You got to be ready for what's going to come. It's not always going to come sugar-coated. Like, you're going to get some real conversation. I have a 16-year-old daughter, so she's at the age and that stage of boys, right? I want you to be able to talk to me about boys, right? When I grew up, Christian men, you don't talk about boys in this house. You don't talk about boyfriends. And I jokingly with them all the time, you're not dating. Yeah, you can get married at 35, 36. They know I'm joking, right? But you're at the age, like, I shouldn't be shunning you about a boy, because if you're not talking to me about a boy, you're talking to somebody about a boy, right? And I guess I'm ahead of myself because now I'm into dating, right? But so again, how are you opening up that space for your child to be able to have that open conversation with you? And I'm real with my daughters. I've already told them, I said, there's only one thing that we recorded, so I can't say that. There's only one thing that a boy can give you that daddy can't. There's one thing. Anything else, money, I got that. Car, got that. You got your own car. At this point, you're 16, right? You need a new purse, you need gear and material things. Daddy has that. You got a roof over your head. So what's the one thing that he can give you that I can't? So every boy, as far as I'm concerned, that's all he's after. Period. Right? That's all he's after, because that's one thing that I can't give you that he can, right? So when it comes to that, I need you to be open with me. Tell me about it. You got a crush on him? What's up? What is he like? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? What do you know? Right. What do you know about his parents, his family? Oh, he want to come over here? Really? Oh, we'll see. Right? And I'm not there yet. So ain't no boy been to my house. Don't get it twisted, because I got a couple things for him too, right? But it's those type of conversations that traditional Christian families, they don't want to talk about, man. You know, you got different topics of conversation, you know, the LGBT community and stuff. Like, Christian families don't want to address that. But these kids go to school and that's what they hear about every single day. You know, one of the things that drove me crazy when my daughter turned, and y'all might know better than me, I think either 12 or 13, right? Took her to the doctor. I couldn't talk to the doctor no more about her medical records. I said, what? Are you crazy? She can't buy her own toilet paper and I can't talk to you about her medical records? That's crazy, right? Right. I need her consent to talk? No way, man. Right? So the world has created that, and then Christians just fall in line with it. Oh, we can't ask. We can't talk about that. We can't. Nah, absolutely not.
The crazy part about what you just said, and I'm going through it, is since my kids have been babies, like I'm talking about babies, 2, 3, 4 years old, me and my wife have always been praying for their spouse. Always been praying for their spouse. Always. And shout out to my son right now, 21, about to get married. So fire. And yes, vulnerable moment. 21, about to get married. Again, we've been praying for their spouses since he was playing with toy trucks and Legos. Now my son's 21 and he says, Dad, I'm about to get married. And first thing I say in my head is it's too soon, bro. It's too quick. You just met her, bro. You've known her a hot 5, 6, I don't even think that months. Like, you tripping. Hear me. Dead serious. You tripping. And it literally took through prayer for me to understand Holy Spirit had to literally check me. I was at work, and I'm being honest with y'all. I was at work from the house, worshiping. And when Father hit me, bro, I started crying, like tears were flowing down my eyes. You have been praying for him a wife since he was 3 to 4 years. I give him what you and your wife have prayed for, and now you say it's too fast. So wait, does he have to hit 40 first or 30? Like, tell me a time you feel is good. So I did what you asked, but it's too early. So now you're the dictator of time. And so I had to literally check myself, but I asked that same question even because now I'm asking that question in the sense of, again, bomb, son got that wife. So now I've been posing it to you and me because now my baby's 16. Well, excuse me, will be 16 in April. And I'm sitting there thinking about it. Same thing, been praying since young. What do I say when she says, I like this guy? And in my head, I've been like, if you ask my daughter, I could FaceTime my baby girl right now and say, FaceTime her. She picked the phone up and I say, Indy, yes, Dad? What daddy don't like? She gonna be like, little boys. I don't like them. But now again, could I be stopping the blessing that you sent? Who says that they have to go through the hurt that you went through, Dane? Who says that they have to find the little boy that only wants their draws? Who says that they can't meet the little boy that honors her and wants to take care of her? My son will ride over there to make sure her trash is taken out. My son told me, Dad, she will never want for nothing again, Dad, ever.
But you know why? Here's the other piece too, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sees that. You lead by example.
Yes, sir.
So how you gonna question God on something that not only you prayed for, I'm sure he's prayed for,
come on,
but you also lead it by example.
Yeah.
So he's doing what he sees his daddy do.
Yo, realest conversation ever.
Faith test, yeah.
I take him to breakfast. It's me and the son. I tell my wife, she like, this is when we first found the news, and she like, you gotta have a talk with him. And I'm like, oh, I'm on it. I can't wait to have a talk with him. Dead serious, bro. So next day off, we both got the same day off. Yo, we gotta go to breakfast. Son's so happy. We gotta go to breakfast. We go to breakfast. We're in the car chilling, just me and him. No girls, me and him. I look at him and I said, I gotta ask you a real question, son. And he like, yeah, of course, Dad. He happy, chilling. He happy. My son is in a season I've never seen my son smile like this before. Like, he lost his smile and he's gained it back. But I'm questioning it. Side note, me and him in the car. And I says, question, what makes you think you ready, son? I said, son, the best decision I ever made was marrying your mother. But son, it's hard. Marriage is work. Like marriage is work. You're signing up for something that, hey, I don't think you really understand yet. Like even if it is the gift from God, it's work. Like you're
Yeah.
about to step into a whole new realm. What makes you think you're ready, bro? My son turns in the seat effortlessly without even thinking about it and says to me, Dad, I've seen you do this since the day you came home. I've never seen you curse at Mom. I've never seen you call her out her name. I've watched how you do the house. You've walked me through how to do the house. You've prepared me for this very moment. And Dad, I'm ready for it. And it was like a mic drop. Like, being honest, I had no response.
Right. You on mute now.
Okay.
You on mute.
I'm like,
Come
okay.
turn
his head like this.
We gonna look.
Yeah, straight
We
push.
gonna
push the
say
mute
no
button.
more. Yeah, no,
But that's real
that's
talk because it's an answered prayer, right? And again, with the girls, it's gonna be a little bit different, right? Because now you got this guy coming in. But again, even that, my daughters know what the expectation is. First of all, if he's not saved, you can hang it up. You can have whatever crush you want to, right? I'm not bending on that. I don't care what he looks like. If he doesn't have a relationship with Christ, it's a wrap. Period. Number one, you shouldn't be looking, right? But you're at the natural stage where you should be interested. That is the natural progression of life.
Yeah.
You should be interested in boys. If you're not, we got a whole different conversation. My sons, I'm the same thing. He's 12 years old. He'll be 13. I don't start asking, what little girl you think is cute, right? Because again, the natural progression is you should start coming to a liking of someone of the opposite sex. I told you I'm gonna be the difficult one, right?
Yeah, nah,
naturally
that's facts.
you should be coming to it, right? So I'm throwing it out there, but you know what the expectation is. So again, my daughter, 16, natural progression, she should be the first one coming home talking about she wants to date, right? Okay, first question, is he saved? If he's not even, it's not even worth the conversation. But I want you to be able to talk to me about it. And again, we'll go back to it. You're saved, right? You have a relationship with Christ, right? You're gonna yoke yourself with somebody who doesn't? You starting off wrong.
First question. Now,
You
what's
starting
his
off
name?
wrong.
My man
Right, I don't
said,
care what his name
"I'm
is.
saved."
I don't
He's
care what
saved.
his
That's the
name
first
is.
question,
I don't
though.
care who his parents
Oh, I
are.
love
Is
that.
he saved?
I love
and
it.
yes, at 16, I need to know that.
Yeah.
Is he 17? Cool. Is he 18? Is
on.
he saved, man?
Come on.
That's a starting point. Then after that, we
Yeah.
get into everything else.
Everything
He's saved?
else.
Good. First check off the box. Nah, I need to see him.
Gotcha.
Let me put some eyes on him because I got a whole different realm of questions that I'm coming. Because I was
deep.
16.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I was 17.
With
Yeah.
that though, right? You know, so I'll counter that,
Mhm.
right? Maybe he doesn't know
Mhm.
any better.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? Because that, like with my daughter, and I get like being saved is essential,
Mhm.
right? So maybe he doesn't know that being saved is a thing,
Mhm.
right? And then just saying it, and then she wants to introduce me, and then you get to talk to him, and you can model
Mhm.
that for him, and then it
Sheesh.
could work,
Mhm.
right?
Sheesh.
But like with my daughter, just people in general, I let her know like, because people like emotionally they heighten emotions prematurely. I'm like first like there's an attraction, right? You don't like him, like you're attracted to him.
Correct.
Let's just be clear. That is somebody I like. You what do you know?
Right. Right.
You're attracted.
You're attracted to him.
right? You're attracted
deep.
to him. Then you get to know
I
him,
like that.
That's deep.
right? You get to know him, and then that determines if you
you
like him or not.
Correct. Yep,
That's good.
I got
You
you.
feel what
I
I'm
like
saying?
that.
wisdom.
I like that.
Because they be like, oh, I like him. And then you be like, well, what happened? Oh, I don't like him no more. No, you never liked him
Right.
to begin with.
Correct.
You
Mhm.
were
Yep.
attracted to
Attracted
him.
to
That's
Then
good.
you got to know his ways.
Still in that.
And then now you don't,
right.
it
That's
just
good.
don't.
That's real good.
Still in that.
Because
It's in
adults
the
do that too.
pocketbook.
Oh, I like.
Yeah.
No, you
Right.
don't
Right.
like
Right.
him.
There's an attraction.
Yeah, you're interested.
Yeah.
Then you get to know, and then that determines if you move forward or not. You feel what I'm saying? And then you put them onto game like the dude only gonna really want
Yeah.
one thing. You know what? I remember my teenager vividly.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
You feel what I'm
Everybody
saying?
here remember their first time.
Yeah.
You remember all of that, right? We all married, right?
Yeah.
But we our spouses remember their first time.
Yeah, vividly, right? And you know, so again, to you, so like my grandmother took me to church, right? I got baptized, but I wouldn't say
Correct.
if I was 16
Right.
and I meet a girl, you saved?
Right.
And I'd be like, well, should I go to church? But I'm open to, you know,
Yeah.
I haven't had a male model for me what that looks like because I'm raised by my grandmother.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to be saved or be a man of God, but I don't know what that's like because, you know, all I know is I like your daughter.
Yeah.
And that led me to to access to you.
So I get that though. Can I push back though?
Go ahead.
So-
it's just
so-
this discussion.
Yeah.
Adam's corner, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
That's
So-
right.
So, here's the pushback, right?
Like it.
And so for every home is different, right?
Right.
Those are my standards.
Right, right,
'Cause
right.
here's the thing. I'm not saying Johnny's not a good dude.
Right.
But my thing is, if you're 16 and you've accepted Christ, right?
Yeah.
Then as far as I'm concerned, because of what my prayer has been for my children,
Yeah.
the Lord's not going to send you somebody who's not equally yoked, period. That's going to tell me that you are liking or attracted to Johnny again. So my standards are, that's not the one.
Right.
I don't care what you say. He's not the one. Period, point blank. Because I know what I've asked Father for.
Yeah.
Right. And I know what you should be living up to. So he's not the one. The attraction might be there.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But that ain't the one.
Right
Okay.
now.
That's not
True,
the
right?
one. Period.
That's
That's
you
the,
say like right now, because he have a chance to get his life right later on.
we all
or
we all
whatnot.
have a chance. Absolutely.
But yeah, so at that time, but I like that standard though for
That's deep.
a young woman. It's like, all right, y'all can be friends right now,
right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. 100%. Yes.
but
But dating.
once he get his life, once he get his,
Yeah. Nah.
you give him some time.
It's a difference because what does dating ultimately lead to?
Yay or nay?
What does dating ultimately lead to?
Sex, kids,
So you're
marriage,
already
all that good
right.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
you're already starting off on the wrong thing. So even that, right? And again, I told you I'm gonna be the difficult one, right?
Yeah.
And I stand 10 toes down on. That's for me and my house.
Yeah.
As for me and my house,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing, right? And people have always said you hard on your daughters, you hard on daughters. I think I have 2 daughters who are doing very well for themselves where they are right now, right? And I'm not gonna back up.
Right.
Because again, I want you to be better than me and your mother was.
Yeah.
Straight
I
up.
just hear Eric, and I've never thought about it like that, and it's just getting me because all I think about is I think about it can go so many different ways. And again, I got a daughter that's
Right.
at that age.
Yeah, my
And
daughter
I think
23.
I
That's
think
what I'm
about them saying okay to the Christian guy, but you got a Christian guy that might be a Christian guy, but he puts hands on her. And
Yeah,
he's abusive.
yeah.
And I just
Oh,
said,
yeah.
That's
and I
true.
just was
Oh, yeah.
forced into Christian because my parents made
Right.
me.
Oh,
and I got
yeah.
anger issues. And I beat her
100%.
up.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I gotta come see little buddy.
Absolutely.
Or you might get, again, like you said, the guy who doesn't know because he wasn't exposed to it.
Right.
But now I come around this family.
Right.
And now I'm accepting of it all because this is honestly the piece I was missing in my
Right.
life. And I
Right.
think about me, and I say that wholeheartedly. My wife is the one who, and again, I know that's your standard for your house and your boundaries, so I respect that.
Yeah.
I think about, I really wasn't. Like, I didn't really know Christ. I was out there. You know
Right.
that. You
Yeah,
family. I was out
absolutely.
there.
Right.
And the craziest part was I saw my wife's submission and that changed me. I always tell that. I remember when the first time my father was tricked into it with me to get Crystal to spend the night. And I'm talking about, I'm like maybe 17, 18 at the time, maybe 18. I've never seen a person on their knees pray.
Right.
And my wife gets on her knees and pray. And when I tell you, this blew my mind. Like, I started seeing things and opening it to where my wife drew me to Christ,
Right.
bro. Like, my wife literally drew me to Christ because of it. But now, again, I think about it if her mom was like, he know God? Nah, I kick buddy to the curb. But then you can see the fruit of the tree by yet her just saying, let's see what God might do with this. Because again, it could be God, even though right now, today it doesn't look like he know him. But yeah, we're going to give him a chance to see what can come from it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I see that. Like, not just saying it makes me think, and I'm only saying that because again, I feel like you.
Yeah.
And he know God, that's the first thing I'm gonna say. But
Right.
then again, that he know God, yes, checked out the box. Might be a he know God just because his parents, and then he
Yeah.
put
I like-
hands on my daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. No, that's a great point. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put my life in it, right? I remember even when I was dating my ex-wife, like those were conscious thoughts of mine, like, oh, I wonder, if they go to church or
Come on.
yeah, I go to church every now and then. I'm not blaming this solely on our split, but that ended up being a part of like our dysfunction as well. It's like, yo, she don't know that life, but I come from that life.
Got you.
Right. So
Got you.
it did cause a divide.
Got you.
Right. It definitely absolutely did. And I couldn't shake it either. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, God, like, come on.
Come on.
But it caused a divide.
That's deep.
But now I look at it in my life currently, where I am now, I can't go in no other direction. Like, you gotta be a prayer warrior, you gotta be spiritually, led
Yes.
in order to really have me. Cause like, it's gonna come a point where you gotta understand my purpose and how I'm living.
Yes.
So like, when you say that, I'm like, dang, like if I really lived that in the way that you setting that principle, like
Things might be different.
things might be different.
And again, it sounds harsh, right? And I look at it like this, right? For my kids, right? Are you dating for marriage, or are you dating because it's a thing that's happening right now, right? Are you dating to be married and have a family and do it God's way, or are you dating because that's my boo? That's what everybody doing. That's my whatever they call them now, right? Like, so that's the thing. My thing is, once you start dating, again, we all, take that back. I got it wrong. I won't put nobody else in, right? And oftentimes we get it wrong because, again, if we go back to the Bible, right? He who finds a wife finds a good thing. The Bible never said he who dates, he who has a boyfriend or a girlfriend. He who finds a wife, right? And a lot of times in this modern day society, we can't fathom what that looks like. We can't fathom, I can't have a boyfriend, I can't have a girlfriend, I need a husband, right? Shout out to my little cousin at 21 talking about getting married. That's a huge flex, right? It don't take 35, 40, 45. At 21, you got it. Because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Not he who finds a girlfriend, not he who finds a sneaky link, not he who finds a boo, right? So again, I'm setting my daughters up. You should be dating for marriage, right? So again, if he's not saved, y'all unequally yoked. You can't be married to somebody. I won't stand for it, right? Because she'll be able to do what she wants to do, right? But you need to understand what my expectations are and the boundaries that I've set based on the word of God. Period. You get what I'm saying? So yes, you're gonna have attractions. I love that. I love how you flip that, right? You're gonna be attracted. I want you to be attracted to men, right? But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be out looking. Because he who finds wife, your husband is gonna come find you. And what he's gonna find you doing? Working. You in service. You on the praise and worship team. That's my prayer for her too. Get on the praise and worship team, right? You serving in ministry. Right now, she's active in ministry on the media team at the church and all that, right? You going to school, you getting good grades. You got a job, you got your own car, right? So you're doing all of these things that your husband, whenever the Lord brings him to you, he's gonna find you working and doing what you need to do. You don't gotta be looking. You don't gotta be looking. Absolutely. And again, we should be trying to raise virtuous women. It's not going to mean that you're not going to be attracted. Can I go to the movies, oh boy? Absolutely. Go. Can I go to the mall? Cool. I might let him come to the house. I haven't gotten there yet.
Right. Yeah,
I might let him come to the house. We'll see.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten there yet. I might let him come to the
facts.
house, right?
Mhm.
But again, if he does, he's going to be in the living room and I'm going to be right there with him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a couple things on the table with me too. Like, just so we
It
understand.
reminded me of
You get what I'm
Martin and
Yeah,
Bad Boy.
Bad Boy,
Martin and
absolutely.
Will came in
You
there.
under-
knocking on
but
the
you know
door
what I'm
with
saying?
the
Because
bag.
again, I don't want to
Yeah.
give my daughter off to be dating just to be dating and keep
Yeah.
trying and falling. Like,
Yeah.
I've gone through that. We've gone through that. How many of our
Yes.
sisters have gone through that?
Yeah.
How many other
Yeah.
females we know have gone through that, right?
Come on.
Parents
I'm not gonna
go through that.
I'm not gonna put you out there
Yeah.
just be dating just to be dating.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're dating for marriage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for family to do it God's way.
take
Period.
it.
And
Now, is it to say that they're gonna do it that way? No, but that's my expectation.
Right.
Right.
That's my expectation, and I'm not gonna back down on that.
That's cool. So I would say like this young lady I was dating before me and Christine got back together because her dad wasn't married, but the story she told me about their family though, you feel me, like they had 3 kids and stuff like that. They like the It family, like that inspired me and gave me hope that I could do that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Just from like the access to seeing and meeting him. You feel what I'm saying?
That's
So
fire.
that's I'm kind of like, I ain't saying give the 16-year-old a chance,
Mhm.
but the exposure,
Mhm.
you feel what I'm saying, to something
Yeah.
he's not familiar. Because like I said,
I
all of
take
my
that.
all of my
Yeah.
siblings are from different
Right.
trees.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
to meet a solid tree
Yeah.
Mhm.
with one ground, you feel what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that's kind of dope.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
that's like
right.
one of my quiet desires.
Yeah.
Not, like I didn't know it was possible. You feel me? But to actually like see it
Right.
was really it kind of like twisted something in me and got me like really
See,
ignited.
Yeah.
that's fire. I take that. I feel like this is a healthy build, man.
Yeah,
That's what fellas feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Anybody got
That's
anything before we conclude? They want to say? They want to finalize? They got on their heart that they didn't get to say that they want to say before we wrap up?
I'm about to get out. I'm about to get
No.
out.
I was
You
just
about to get out.
Get it, brother, a chance.
I was just gonna say, you know, as men, we, you know, you're the head of the household,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about young women. Like, I don't have any daughters, but
Mhm.
if it was me, I would be kind of thinking similar. But the way I visualize it is like you're creating a helpmate, right?
Mhm.
So you're almost like causing confusion in her life if she's doing everything she can to help someone
Mhm.
that can't, you
Lead.
know, that can't lead or
lead.
can't do anything
Mhm.
that
Can't
yeah
lead.
that fulfill that so but we see that, right? Like, that's what's happening a lot of times, where you like, man, there's some good women out here. Like, I will say there's some good women out here, but they can't find that niche, and part of it is because they don't have a father like you that's like, look, you got to be spirit filled. You got to understand what your role is as a wife, right? Not just to, you know, do these things, but like, you also got to be a real helpmate, like spiritually grounded, like in your word, because a lot of people think that just deeds is it. Like, nah, it's way more than that. Like, you know, it take a lot more than that to be a wife. But I feel like it doesn't get talked about. Everybody want to talk about lead. Like, you know what I mean? But from a woman perspective, like, y'all got more of a role than I think y'all have. So yeah, but no, I thought that was
Priest over the home is not an easy job. It's one we all boast on having, and I'm the man. But are you really ready to walk? You know what I'm saying? I always look back, and I take it back to when everything fell in the garden. We can all, whether what kind of fruit it was, don't matter, any of that kind of stuff. The story be told, we all run back to when everything fell and Eve bit the forbidden fruit. No matter the reason why, when Father came down, he did not say, Eve, what did you do? He walked to Adam and said, Adam, what happened? Adam, what happened? And he asked him, because this is yours. This is your kingdom. I gave you access and authority. You've been walking with me in the garden, so I entrusted you. So hypothetically, he shouldn't even have been in here to talk to her. So I'll deal with her later.
Yeah.
I got something to talk to you about. And I feel like that's where it needs to get back to right now. And the craziest part is that's what inspired Adam's Corner, is to talk to the Adams of this world, to ask them, where are you? That question, I feel like, is still pondering. I feel like that question is still permeating the atmosphere today. Adam, where are you? And it's not a question, again, the same as that time then that Father doesn't know, but it's a question to ask yourself. Even us right now as men who got it going on right, or doing things that seem good, where are you? Are you aligning yourself totally? Like, it might look good, you might be serving, you might be working, I might not be a bum, but where are you? Are you actively in your kid's life? Are you actively pursuing your wife still? Are you actively doing your part to help the men in the community grow? Adam, where are you at? And I believe that is where we've been called to.
I want to share something, right? So I was talking to my brother about this, and one of the things that, you know, we came to this same or similar conclusion is that, and then actually I was rehearsing with my wife 2 nights ago, I think it was. When you want to know where a man is, ask his kids and ask his wife.
Wow.
I can tell you a lot about a man without even knowing him or talking to him. Give me your kids, give me your wife,
Wow.
give me your colleagues, give me the people
Wow.
that surround themselves with you. It'll tell me a lot about you as a man.
Wow.
Think about it like that, right?
Yeah.
Because if you where you're supposed to be, doing what you need to be doing, everybody attached to you is going to speak to that,
Steve.
right? Real talk. Test it out.
Yeah.
Take a random brother, right? Talk to his kids. Talk to his wife. What report are they going to give about their daddy? What report are they going to give about the husband? You know,
Steve.
go on your boy's job real quick. What is his colleagues going to say? Oh, yeah, he's a pastor, but he in the break room trying to screw everything moving. Oh, he working in the church every single Sunday, but he come in the break room and he gambling, right? Oh, he late to work every day, but he saved. He a Christian man, right? What are other people going to say about you? You get what I'm saying? And when it's all said and done, to your point, Adam, where are you?
Where are you?
Where are you? Right? And we can sum it up like that. Like, yo, listen, ask somebody else about him. And I'm being bold. Ask about me. Ask about me. You know what I'm saying? Again, not perfect. Definitely not perfect. A lot of flaws. Got a lot of work to do, right? Trying, being intentional, right? But I can stand firm on, you ask my family about me, nah, my dad is all right. Even in my struggles, right? Because we struggle. We have our own internal struggles. You know, we work hard. We got the weight of the family and all that on us. But again, we're the covering, right? So we lay on top and we cover our families. They don't see that. They don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't know the stress that I have day in and day out at work. A lot of times my wife don't know it unless she pick it up in the spirit. She'll pick it up in the spirit and say, what's up? You off? What's going on? Right? That's because the Holy Spirit reveals it to her. Right? But because I cover you, because that's what I've been called to do, they don't see that, man.
It's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what she
that's a flex. And I like it was something I posted on Facebook, right? So let's just say hypothetically, like I'm walking down the street, right, and I find $100, right? So I'm like, oh, boom, found $100. So I'm making plans to either I'm gonna put this in the savings, or I'm about to go grocery shopping, or I'm about to splurge on some wares, right? So my point is, or my question is, did I find $100 or did I make $100? Right. So then you go back to the scripture that says that he who finds a wife, not he who makes a wife. Right. So she's already a wife when you found her.
Absolutely.
So you're preparing.
She.
You feel what I'm saying? Like you're preparing your daughters to be found.
Yes.
Not made.
Correct.
By,
Yes.
like made by God.
Right.
But
Right.
found
Yes.
by
Steve.
by God. You feel
That's
Steve.
what I'm
crazy.
saying? And then
That's good
so you know, Divine, he found
Yeah.
a wife. He ain't make her.
Right.
Yeah.
A wife. So
Right.
I'm
That's a
20.
fact.
I'm 21. I'm good. I done found it.
Right.
Yeah.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I had just told him that before we started.
Yes.
Like, I'm trying to be cautious because I don't know where this will end.
But
like that, my first marriage, that's what it was, man. I stepped outside of God's timing and tried to make my wife.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody.
Right.
I tried to make my wife instead of finding who God had for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ultimately ended in divorce
Yeah.
because that's not who God had prepared for me.
Yeah.
And I can own that.
Yeah, I would diddle that for my life,
Yeah.
man. That's the same situation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I'm gonna keep it the same way, right?
Yeah.
I tried to make her my wife,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, it didn't take long for me to notice, like, you feel me? I'm just being blunt.
Yeah,
Like, you know, I'm like, yo, yeah, like, so this ain't it. And, you know, it's interesting because, you know, as you grow older, right, you understand how God speaks to you, right? You know, we all have our own gifts, right? But even back then, I could visualize myself being that young man and God still saying, like this just not right. And I'm showing you and I'm showing you and I'm showing you. And then, you know, things just happen. And you like, okay. I remember, oh man, I'm gonna be transparent. I remember putting myself in a position where I'm like, God, get me out of this. Like, and I'm keeping it real. Like, God, get me out of this. Like, you know, I've been praying and you've been showing me, and I'm ready when you are. You know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to anyone, but it got to that point. But I understood, God, you're talking to me, right?
Yeah.
And I have a responsibility, and I gotta fulfill it some way, somehow. But right now, I'm in the corner of the rooftop.
I'm at a standstill.
It's crazy, and I promise I'm gonna shut up after this, because and what came to me while you were saying is that God is such a good father, right? Just like us, right? I'm gonna sit here and say we all good fathers, right? But coming up with your children, how many times you say, "Don't touch that,
Yeah.
don't do that"?
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'm gonna let you learn on your own.
Right.
I'm gonna let you learn on your own. That was me, and it sounds like that's what you in your first situation. Like God is like, that ain't the one.
Right.
That's not it. That's not who I have for you.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna go ahead in His permissive will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do that and mess
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
Right? Because people like to try to blame God like it's God's fault. Like,
Yeah.
nah, that wasn't God's fault.
Right.
That wasn't God's fault. He was being a father.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes, as fathers, as we all know, you gotta let your child fall and bump their head.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna either make them or it's gonna break them. Right?
Yeah.
My baby, you gonna fall, you gonna hurt yourself. I literally today got out the car when I picked him up from school. He goes running. Y'all know all the snow we got out here.
Yeah.
Say, Liam, you're gonna fall.
Right.
Stop running on the snow. I haven't salted. You're gonna fall. Right?
Yeah.
So again, like, you can't be mad at me if you slip and fall.
Right.
Like I'm telling you, but I'm also not gonna go pick you up and carry you,
Yeah.
right? Because you gotta learn.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's what God will do for us at all times. I know that's what He did for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
real.
saying? He did that for me, man.
Yeah.
It's real.
I caught a quick visual. That's why I laughed a little bit. like with the $100, right? Like with the so you could find one and it could be counterfeit.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? You put it up to the light. Like, is that
Mhm.
face in the corner? You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? But spending time with God, you would know
Yeah.
what to look for
Yeah,
as
look
far as
for.
like attributes
Absolutely.
in a wife. And then and lastly, then I shut up. It's like and I like to say the like the enemy knows your name and calls you by your weakness, right? But God knows your weakness and call you by your name.
Mhm.
That's a big fact.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I had that thought not too long ago. That's crazy you even say that, because like the enemy is crafty in his ways. Like we all got our own stories, but I'm sure, I mean, they align in some ways where it's just like, okay, like when you know, and you know when the enemy is using something to pain you, right?
Yeah.
God's gonna make it right, because that's what He does as long as you give it to Him.
It's a fact.
But He's definitely gonna use it,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's a repeated cycle. You're like, man, I can't get through this. Like, I've experienced that. Like, man, I can't believe I fell for this. You know what I mean? Like,
Okey-doke.
damn, I dumb. Like, what's wrong with me? Right? But it
Things I
comes in
should-
different ways.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. But He knows, and
definitely
God
knows.
makes it right for sure. Yeah.
So listen, Adam's Corner, man. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing episode. I pray everybody that listened and tuned in really takes heed to the wisdom that was truly poured out through this episode. The men here, I'm big on, this is not just an episode, something that you watch and take heed to, because oftentimes we take notes, we leave and never do anything with them again. But what I hope is that each individual you see here, you find them, you befriend them. None of this is just for the gram, as they say, but these individuals live it. This is a marriage counselor. I don't know if you feel like your marriage is on the rocks and you have questions, or you guys feel like roommates and you feel like you guys need a boost, like you just refuse to break up, but I don't know how to keep the fire lit or going. He's amazing. My brother John here is amazing in the school district. There's a lot of wisdom that comes from him. He's amazing in the church. It's so crazy because since a kid I've looked up to him, but I didn't know how to stand on my yes and make decisions on my own. So a lot of times I went wayward to what my friends felt instead of following him. And now I see it. I see the guidance in his kids. I see the way he structures and the dynamics of his household. You want to follow him. Kwame is fire within the youth. Like the father that he is, I love. I value. I love it. He's in the city. Their hearts are for the kids. They're in these schools. They're doing it. If you don't know them, you need to know them. Lastly, but not least, man, my boy Chick. We wouldn't be here without him. Shout outs to Three Kings, just for even letting us use this space. A father, before he is a fire barber entrepreneur, on top of that, he is a dope dad. He got away from this camera because he's supposed to be in here. But dope dad, even to the fact of him cutting my hair today, his daughter was in the chair. And I watched him talk to his daughter before she left. And baby girl, come here, give me a hug. And she ran over there. And I said this I don't text every man on Father's Day because, again, they ain't my daddy. But there's a couple of men I text every single year to tell them they are doing an amazing job, and I look up to them. And I would say my boy is one of them. He handles his business. He puts his kids before he puts himself. And we had a discussion to say that's what's missing in this generation. So coming here isn't just getting a fly cut. You do see the cut. You do see this cut. But you're getting around people who's going to be in your ear telling you what you should be doing. You're seeing what a good man do. You're seeing what a good father do. So I shout out Chick for allowing us to be here. Our cameraman, photographer, Jaquan, man of God, Divine, my son, shout out, about to be married. All of this is God. So please share, please like, please let a man that you know that there's a podcast that they need to listen and be watching out for. So again, we thank you. And this is Adam's Corner. Salute.